So, just in my usual habit, I try to familiarize myself with some of these AI tools that are released. And recently, Facebook released the Meta AI with Llama 3. So, and having listened to Mark Zuckerberg introduce the AI model, I thought to give it a try and interact with it. So, my first conversation with the model was I think it introduced itself by saying, "My name is Meta AI. Think of me like your personal assistant." And then I went further to just try something because I heard it could generate images. So I said, create an image of a Nigerian digital librarian. So it replied me, say, here you go. And then it created an image of this man you're seeing right now. I think based on what it learns, the way these AI models work, they create new content by with what is already existing on the internet. So that's how they create this content. So they see a Nigerian man usually wears a hat and then the skin color and everything, they bring it together. So and that's how it has created this image, and that's why they are called generative AI. So I went further to ask another question. I said, can you do an analysis of my Facebook page, the Digital Librarian, and tell me how I am doing. So it replied by saying, I can analyze your Facebook page based on publicly available information. Please note that my analysis will be limited to the data I can access publicly. To analyze your page, I'll need to know the exact name of your Facebook page, which you mentioned is the Digital Librarian. So, in summary, what I realized after having this conversation, I confirmed that that was my page. It went further to tell me that based on the publicly available information, here's analysis of the Facebook page. So, what I wanted to see was if it had access to real time information to analyze information from websites or from Facebook real time. But from the response he gave to me here, the only thing that was correct in his response was my Facebook page name, which I had told it. Okay. So every other thing was just based on his assumption and of what the digital librarian page can look like. So, and it was giving advice, which are general advice. So I just knew I can't trust Meta AI in the area of getting access to real-time information. So that was what prompted me to ask my next question, which talked about so so I think I wasn't satisfied with that response. So my next question was, tell me about you, what you can do, and what your limitations are. So that was where I started learning more about Meta AI. And then he told me that it could perform a wide range of tasks. It can answer questions. It can generate text. It could translate text like from English language to French or Chinese. And then it could summarize content just like some of these AI, generative AI tools like ChatGPT can do. So it can also offer suggestion and advice. You can chat with it just like I'm chatting. And then number seven, which was the special feature that took me to it, was that it can generate images. So, and I noticed it actually, that was the actually asked it to do, and it generated images. So it can also search the internet. I can search the internet and provide relevant information. Yeah. So, but it gave me its limitations, and these limitations, I'm making this video so that you'd understand that AI has limitations. For those of us who do not use these tools responsibly, see what it's telling you here right now. It says that I lack common sense. Okay, it's telling you that my knowledge is limited, right? It doesn't have in-depth knowledge of specific information. It has just general basic knowledge. So it's not something you can trust for real in-depth research. And it says it doesn't have opinions, it doesn't have emotions. It's a machine, and it is dependent on data, what it has been taught. And then it has limited creativity, it can't be compared to humans. And lastly, it says it doesn't have physical capabilities. So having heard that, I was like, I said, okay, you talked about the dependence on data. So I now ask the question that I really was concerned about. Do you have access to real time information and happenings, or what are your limitations in terms of what you were taught and know or can answer? So that was where Meta AI actually broke it down to me that it was its knowledge cut off. I mean, what it was taught on the internet ended as at around December 22. So most likely everything that happened after then, Meta AI cannot provide answers to that. And then it went further to say that lack of real-time information is one of its major limitations, data limitations, knowledge gaps, so outdated information. So it says in some cases, my training data may contain outdated or superseded information, because what happened in 2022 may have been developed in 2023 and it does not have that information. So if you rely on the results it gives to you, you may be working with outdated information. So it also notes that sometimes it may have biases and inaccuracies in its response. So, and it went further to encourage us that if we are using it, we should please verify the information that it gives to us, and we should also ask follow-up questions. When AI gives you a particular response, ask follow-up questions to clarify, because sometimes it may just give you a response that you don't understand, and then but when you ask more questions it helps it to clarify what is given to you. And then lastly it says provide context. And then I went further to ask another question, because I know most of my followers, they love free AI tools, especially AI tools that generate images. For instance, Bing is free, but Bing was giving a particular number of images per day, 100 images per day. I think that is even reducing now. Sometimes in some of these apps, you have to have tokens to be able, credits to be able to use this AI tool. So I asked a question. I said, are you Meta AI 100% free to use, or are there areas where users are limited? For instance, limited numbers of images we can create using you, like Mid Journey and other generative AI. So he says, I'm happy to clarify this. He says, for now I'm currently free to use. All right, and you can interact with me unlimited times without any cost. So this is good news for my followers who like ojo free things. So this is one very free tool. The image generation is free, so you can imagine it limits you to 100 images per day, and this is actually to prevent abuse. So you cannot actually just create a whole 100 images per day. Once you exhaust that, the next day you can continue from where you stopped. And then it talked about its limitation in the area of image size and resolution. It talked about content guidelines. I think you can pause this video to watch later and read through all these things. It talks about the usage limits, and then it talks about API access, and then he said, in comparison to other generative AI models like Midjourney, I'm a more general purpose AI assistant, and my limitations are in place to ensure fair use and prevent abuse. So I asked another question. I said, when compared to ChatGPT and Gemini, how smart are you? What are your advantages over them? And then what it made clear was, just like these other tools, it says it's a large language model. That's an LLM. Those of you who follow me on my online community, I usually post some of what these terminologies, what they actually mean. So, and it says it has been trained differently from this particular AI tools. And then he did an analysis. He said ChatGPT's strength, it has exceptional language understanding, context awareness, and ability to respond to complex, open-ended questions. ChatGPT is very good in that. But the weakness in ChatGPT is that ChatGPT can be overly verbose, repetitive, and that's how one way I, as an expert, a librarian, I can detect content that are generated with AI, sometimes even if we don't use plagiarism detectors, because once you see this content, they are repetitive in nature, they are verbose, they use some sort of very huge grammars, and they just overemphasize things and sometimes struggle with factual accuracy. So those are the weaknesses of ChatGPT. Even Gemini also lack the same level of context awareness and nuance as ChatGPT, and can sometimes provide overly brief responses. Yes, that is one true thing about Gemini. But the strength of Gemini is that it's fast, it's efficient, and excellent at generating concise, relevant responses. And Gemini is also very knowledgeable about a wide range of topics. Then, when I asked it about its own self now, it says its strength is that it's a general purpose AI. It can answer a wide range of questions and all that, but its weakness is that its understanding may not be as deep as ChatGPT. So you see that for those of you who may be using this, Meta AI just came out, is still learning, and it cannot be compared to ChatGPT and maybe Gemini. So, but then it has its own strengths, which are mentioned there. So I went further to ask another question. I said, would you recommend that scholars who are into high impact research activities, like literature reviews, citations, etc., should they use Meta AI for academic or scholarly purposes? And then here's its response. It says, I'm glad you asked. While I'm a powerful tool for generating text and answering questions, I would not recommend relying solely on me for high impact research activities like literature reviews and so on. Here's why. Number one, it's telling you now that Meta AI lack expertise. It has just basic knowledge. Its understanding of academic nuances, methodologies, and domain specific knowledge is limited. So you may not rely on these generative AI tools. And number two, he said there's the risk of errors and inaccuracies because this is a model that is still learning. And the more we use it, you see that it learns more. Okay. And lack of critical thinking and analysis. While I can generate text and summarize information, I don't possess the critical thinking and analytical skills that humans have, which are essential for high impact research. So, for researchers who are looking for AI tools to use, I don't think Meta AI may be your best bet. Citations, it says, I don't have the capability to provide accurate citations and references in the same way a scholar would. Okay, so just read all these things. I'm just speaking to the points. Just pause this video when you need to and just read the points. So academic integrity and authenticity. Scholars must ensure the originality and authenticity of their work while I can generate text. Okay. So that being said, it says that it can still be useful, it can be helpful to you in these three major areas. That it can help you with a task like finding relevant papers and generating ideas or providing an overview about a topic. Also, it can generate a starting point for a literature review for you, okay, not doing the whole literature review for you. And then it can provide suggestions for relevant citations which scholars can verify and validate. So these are the things we teach in our classes, in my workshops. For instance, the recent one I concluded, where we talked about responsible use of AI, we are still providing mentorship for those people who signed up for that particular 3 days academic training. So the point is, we must learn to use AI responsibly. There are principles we must adhere to where while leveraging or use getting assistance from these AI models. And you can actually look down, start by subscribing to this channel and following me on my social media handles to gain access to more of this information. So, but I think let me just continue. We're almost at the end of my conversation and familiarization with Meta AI. So I further asked, I said, for someone who haven't used or not heard about you, Meta AI, before, can you describe step by step how to access Meta AI and how to use it? And then it was glad to respond, and then it gave me a step by step. It says step one, for those who wants to start using Meta AI from this my review, you can start by opening your browser and then go to www.meta.ai. All right. Once you do that, you can bookmark it, and that is the site where you need to use this AI, just like you go to chat.openai.com. Then step two, if you want to save your conversation history and access, you can sign up, create an account with it. All right. So what it means is, even if you do not sign up, you can still use Meta AI. I believe so. That's what it means. And then step three, starting a conversation, just like the conversation I'm starting with it now. You just type a question and then you start getting answers, and then you just keep interacting with Meta AI. Step five, you explore all the other features of its ability to create images, its ability to summarize, translate, and do many more. And then finally, it advises you to just have fun while learning with it. So, as I was rounding up my conversation with Meta AI, I wanted to find out something. I said, your process requires me to go to a browser, but I'm currently chatting with you via Facebook. All right. What is the difference? And will I lose this conversation I'm having here with you on Facebook chat? So the next question I asked it was also, how secured are my conversations with you? And then it was happy to also hear my questions. And then it says the difference between chatting with me on Facebook and accessing me through a browser is the platform and the interface. While using this particular Meta AI on Facebook, it just saves your conversation on the Facebook Messenger app. So sometimes it's easier to use this app, but in a browser, you can access the full range of features and capabilities that Meta AI has. So, and regarding conversation continuity, he says, don't worry, our conversation on Facebook Messenger is separate from the browser version. If you switch to the browser, you will start a new conversation. Now, about its security, just like many other of these AI models and even WhatsApp chat, it says that the chats you have with it are encrypted, and then your conversation with it is anonymized. It doesn't collect your personal information. And then number three, it is compliant with data regulation. So that gave me some sort of rest of mind that my conversations are safe with Meta AI. And then he says, and then my question as I was rounding up is, if I exit this conversation, I wanted to know what will happen. If I see this conversation we're having now on Facebook, will I lose access to this conversation we've been having? Can I come back to it later, or will I lose everything? And then he says, if I exit this conversation, I won't lose access to the conversation. Facebook Messenger stores our conversation history so we can come back to it later. However, there are things you may want to take note. You can read through this, pause the video, and read if it's been too fast. Pardon this interception. I had to verify if I'll be able to get access to my conversations with Meta AI, because currently what I was doing was I accessed Meta AI from my Facebook app, using the search feature on Facebook, and then that was where I started having that conversation. But just to verify, I went to my Facebook Messenger and I noticed that just as it had said that I would get my conversation, all my conversations are here on the Facebook Messenger. So I asked it, I said, what about Meta AI on WhatsApp? Because I am aware that Meta AI is now on WhatsApp. So with Meta AI on WhatsApp, you can do a lot of things. Just write on WhatsApp while chatting. You want to do anything, you are chatting with someone, you want to ask a questions, you want to reply to something. The AI feature can just give you ideas on what to do. So it said that yes, you can chat with me on WhatsApp just like you are doing here. So, but I checked, I tried it out. I couldn't on my WhatsApp business app, and I did a little research and I found out that WhatsApp Meta AI is not available in some country. So please, maybe you could let me know under this video if WhatsApp Meta AI works or is available in your phone or in your country. So that was how I rounded up that conversation. And let's just get back to the video. So as I was also still rounding up, the video is almost coming to the end. So I said, your responses have been satisfactory. I had to appreciate it. But before I round up my test and getting to know who you are, I would like you to create an image for me using the prompt below. So I wanted it to create something really new. So I said, create a futuristic state of the art national library structure for Nigeria. Label it like the architects would do. Currently in Nigeria today, our national library, we have been struggling with the government to do a very state of the art, custom purpose built library for the National Library of Nigeria. And it's so disappointing that a nation like ours do not have a national structure, a building called that this is the National Library that is state of the art. So I said, okay, create something like that for me. Hopefully the federal government of Nigeria would see this video and then copy this model. So this is the video, the image it created for me as futuristic. It recommended this sort of building structure for the National Library of Nigeria. And then I went further to ask, okay, let me ask two random questions. And the first question was, do you like Nigerian bole and fish? And for the first time ever in my use of generative AI tools, can you see AI laughed at my question? It said, ha ha ha. As a digital AI assistant, I don't have personal preferences or taste buds, so I don't have a liking for any food, including Nigerian bole and fish. However, I can provide information and recipes about this popular Nigerian dish if you are interested. So I went ahead to ask it my second random question. So I said, I have been using clear English language to ask my YouTube video viewers to subscribe to my channel. Only few persons have responded. Can you write in Nigeria Pidgin a short request for those watching my video right now to subscribe to this channel and gain access to more insightful videos like this? So AI just went into it and started doing the translation for me. He started doing the pidgin English, and I'll read what AI wrote. Meta AI. So I don't know, I'm beginning to love this Meta AI. And Meta AI said, I beg, make I help you with that. So it went further and says, una when they watch this video in pidgin, una when they watch this video, abeg subscribe to this my channel, the Digital Librarian, make una get access to more insightful videos wey go help una grow and learn pass. Na small thing, just click that subscribe button and una go see say e go sweet una. Thanks and God bless. So what AI did was it did a translation of that pidgin English, which you can read under for those who do not understand the Nigerian pidgin English. So I don't know, what do you think about this video? Click on the like button if you like it, and then please share this video, drop your comments under this video, and let me know whether you found value for the time you've spent watching this video.